Careblazer. This is one of the most overlooked and not talked about topic that can make such a big difference for your loved one's quality of life and overall care if they are currently living in a care facility or one day might be living in a care facility. After years of talking to healthcare providers, paramedics, and of course, you amazing Careblazers, I have gathered a list of small but powerful tips to make life easier for everyone. And these specific tips have to do with clothing. Let's walk through them together. We know that when it comes to getting somebody with dementia dressed, that can be a difficult task, not only emotionally from, somebody having to be willing to accept help with something that they've done privately their whole lives, but also physically, the movement of their limbs in order to get in and out of the clothes. So anything we can do to make the person with dementia's life more comfortable as they're getting dressed and undressed, the quicker it can be, the easier it can be, that's going to be best for them. It's also best for the person who's going to be helping them. So number one, pretty simple. You've probably already gathered this intuitively, but aim more for elastic waistbands over things like zippers and buttons. That's going to make bathroom trips and changes quicker and easier. Socks. Try to get socks that are a size bigger than they would normally wear to make it easier for them or the staff to put on and take off. Velcro shoes or those stretchy laces that don't require tying are also helpful. Those laces you might have often seen athletes wear or triathletes wear when they want to quickly put on shoes and make it tight without having to bother with tying the laces. Now, here is a big desire that many care staff wish family members would know. Opt for full zip sweaters instead of regular or quarter zip sweaters. So not only are they easier to get on and to get off, but it could be a lifesaver in a medical emergency. Many paramedics say it's so much easier to attach monitors and do what they need to do when they don't have to take off a whole sweater or cut through the sweater in order to get access to their chest. So the zipping full zip sweaters are often preferred. It can also help regulate temperature better. If they get too hot, they can unzip it. If they get too cold, they can zip it back up. Also, considering buying those sweaters in a size larger than they would normally wear. Again, just makes it so much easier for staff to put on and off, more comfortable for the person with dementia, but also it accounts for any shrinkage that might happen when they get washed. If you're living in a cold climate, or especially during the winter times, opt for mittens instead of gloves. Obviously, that's going to be a lot easier for staff to put on their hands and more comfortable for the person receiving the help. It also is nicer if the person happens to have arthritis or stiffness in the hands. Again, mittens easier than gloves. Basically, if you're considering clothing of any kind, consider going one or even two sizes up, especially if it's made of cotton. Hearing some of the stories from actual staff members on how hard it can be to dress the person with dementia, that they might have to move the person's arm a little bit further than they would prefer just to get them dressed in sweaters that are just a little bit too tight or not so easy to put on. They describe it as heartbreaking because they know it's not comfortable for the person they're caring for. Quite frankly, we're talking about a care facility, but you can consider this in your own home as well. These are things that might make, if you're helping your loved one in your own home get dressed, can make it easier. Now, here's a bonus tip a lot of care staff shared. If you have one of those old CD players, consider bringing that to your loved one's room and having one of their favorite CDs in it, because it's much easier for staff to just go into their room, press play on the CD player while they're dressing them or providing hands-on care. Now, Careblazer, it's extremely overwhelming and emotional whenever we're talking about the need for our loved ones to move to a different place to receive a different level of care. So it's not unusual that something that seems so trivial or small, like clothing, often gets missed. But I hope this video helps you think of something that doesn't get a lot of attention but can make a really big difference. Now, if you want more support in terms of quality tips that don't get a lot of attention, to hear helpful feedback and support from other Careblazers in situations similar to you, I encourage you to check out our Care Collective program. It's our live support program where every single week you get access to support rooms, other members, dementia experts such as myself and others, as well as a 24/7 platform for you to connect with other Careblazers any time of day or night. Again, the link to that is in the description below. If you happen to have a really simple, easy, quick tip to help make your loved one's day-to-day life easier when it comes to any sort of care tasks, leave it in the comments below and help another Careblazer out. Sending you all so much love. I'll be back next week with another video. Bye.
Also, Nico gets a belly rub for every person who subscribes from this video. So if you haven't already, click the red subscribe button. It's totally free, and Nico says thank you very much.